Hey everyone, and welcome back to the FlixList. Today, in honor of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, we are talking about the best monster movies of the 2000s. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the FlixList. So, Godzilla King of Monsters is coming out this weekend, and it is a ride. I had the opportunity to see it this evening, and I really enjoy it. And basically, if you enjoy any of the movies I'm talking about today, you're going to enjoy Godzilla. That is for sure. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about the best monster movies of the 2000s. So why am I going with the 2000s? I wanted to do justice because of the monster movies of the 1900s. There are so many of them. And if I was going to leave out the original Godzillas, the Japanese Godzillas, the originals King Kongs, I probably would lose a little bit of credibility. So I'm just focusing on my forte, the 2000s. So I've got five. That's right. The top five monster movies of the 2000s. We're going to start off recent, and we're going to give it to good old Jim Halpert. Yes, that is right. A Quiet Place is coming in at number 5. Who would have known that Jim Halpert would have had him in him? I really enjoyed this movie. Obviously, it's number 5, because it's a beautiful exercise in understanding the beauty of the elements of a horror film, and the element that they really went with was sound and audio and quiet. It's in the title. This movie is terrifying because of the things you can't hear, and dealing with that expectation and tension and not knowing what's going to happen. It's so good, and John Krasinski absolutely slays it in his directorial debut, and he has his wife next to him right on screen, Emily Blunt. She is outstanding. They both are so good. The kids in the movie are so good. This movie makes its stance in the pantheon of great horror films and monster movies because of its understanding and use of sound editing and just the tension and terror. It's so good and definitely earns its spot as number 5. Number 4, okay, no better way to establish my credibility than throwing in a Korean film. That's right, I know my stuff. We're going to go with The Host. Yes, The Host. Outstanding movie. This is directed by Bong Joon-ho. I hope I said that right. Who just actually won the Palme d'Or at Cannes for his movie Parasite. He is an incredible filmmaker. Started off making South Korean films, moved his way into the United States with films like Snowpiercer, Mother, Okja, the Netflix special. He's so good, and this is probably, in my opinion, his best film. If you ask me, I'm going with it. It's so good because it's a lot like South Korean films in the terms of they blend a lot of genres to where something can be borderline funny, ridiculous, but still somehow dramatic and horrifying, and that's what this movie does so well. The storyline is about a mutant monster that is mutated because of Americans. What else? And the monster goes on a rampage and kidnaps a man's daughter. And so the father gets on a mission, has a team to go and save his daughter. What comes after that is equal parts melodrama, comedy, horror, thrilling action. It's so good. It's so good. This is actually the highest grossing film in South Korean history. Little note for you. So if you haven't seen The Host, go see it. It's so good. Number 3. All right. We're going with The Mist. The Mist. Yes, that's right. The ending alone gets it on this list. It is one of the craziest endings to any movie I've ever seen. Trust me, if you've seen it, you understand what I mean exactly. This film was directed by Frank Darabont, who got back into Stephen King. He also directed Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. This movie is twisted. This movie is scary. This movie is psychologically exhausting. Thomas Jane is in this movie. He's one of my most underappreciated actors. I think he's wonderful. The monsters in this movie are fun. They're all different kinds. It's the ending. That's why I just love talking about this movie. I love thinking about it. It earns it. The ending alone gets it on this list. Number 3, The Mist. Number 2, all right, we're going a little bit obscure. Attack the Block. I love this movie so much. This movie gave us John Boyega. He is anything like what he is in the Star Wars trilogy. He's hilarious, thick Cockney. If you love Cockney accents and you love Nick Frost, this is your movie. It's the most Edgar Wright movie that's ever not been directed by Edgar Wright. It's so funny. It's hilarious. The action scenes are incredible. The actors are in it. It's so good. It's so funny. It's great. Go see it. Check out this movie. All right. Number one. Cabin in the Woods. Yes, I love this movie. This movie goes back to how I first got to see it. It was the South by Southwest opening night premiere at the Paramount Theater, and no one had any idea what they were in for. There was no spoilers. No one knew what kind of movie. They thought we were just seeing a horror movie. And yeah, we saw a horror movie, but unbelievable twist. Unbelievable things you never saw coming. It was so much fun. It's the perfect mix of ridiculous and scary and funny and drama and good actors. Thor shows up. It's so good. If somehow you haven't seen this movie, this might be the best time to see it because no one's going to be talking about it. It's pretty much a zombie movie, but because of some twists, it makes it a monster movie. So it earns its spot. It earns it on here. I'm calling it. It's so good. All right. Well, there were your best 5 monster movies of the 2000s. If you agree with this list, feel free to let me know. If you have some problems, I think some people might. I know there were a few things that weren't. Cloverfield was close. Love that movie. Just barely on the outside. Monsters, the Godzilla movies, King Kong Skull Island. I know I missed some. I'm sorry, guys. I can't be perfect, but I think this list is pretty close. I think it's close. So that has been the FlixList. I hope you guys get a chance to make it out to the movies. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about maybe next week, and we'll get back to you. Thank you guys so much. I've been Nathan.